I have been married to my husband for 6 years. We have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. The first was a twin, which is a boy and a girl. I sent a 13-year-old girl that came to stay with me to assist me when I had my twin back to her parents because of my husband. Yes, my husband forced himself on her. His family and mine decided to keep it a family secret. As if that was not enough, my husband went on to also sleep with our neighbor's daughter, who is 16 years old, in our own house. The girl comes around to play with my twins and also to stay with them while I run some errands. One Sunday evening, I was supposed to get some stuffs from the market, so I had to go back home because I can't tell how my body was feeling that day. I went straight to check on my twin, only to see my husband and our neighbor's daughter. It's only to see my husband on our neighbor's daughter. It turned out to be that wasn't even the first day they were doing it. He pleaded again that I shouldn't let this out because the outcome might not favor him, and me putting the twins into consideration, I sealed it and stopped the little girl from coming to my house. Since the little girl doesn't want to tell her parents, I felt I should also keep calm too, so my marriage would keep working. He swore with our twins and his manhood never to do such thing again. Along the line, I had the third child. My sister, who is in her final year in the university, came to spend the holiday with us. My husband has been acting strange since she came. He keeps up late at night, sitting at the living room, dining, or just walking around the house on boxers and with a bottle of drink. One night, I heard someone screaming. The voice was coming from my sister's room. I rushed to the room and saw my husband trying to have his way on her. I hit him on the head with one of the statues I could reach at the time. He laid helplessly on my sister. I pulled him down to the floor with the help of my sister, only to notice he is no more breathing. I called the gate man. With my sister and we dragged him into the car and was rushing to the hospital. On our way, I noticed he could move his hands and leg. He opened his eyes before we could get to the hospital, though he was still very weak. Immediately he was admitted to the hospital. I went back home, brought his phones and ATM card to him so he could get further help for himself. I left the hospital without returning again. I am gone with my children and will never return to him again. My husband has called several times. My family sent him away the day he came to plead. I cannot forgive him for trying such acts with my own blood. My family supports my decision. How can I get him to continue taking care of his children? I have a business, but I cannot single-handedly take care of them while their father is still alive and doing well. So now I'm surprised. The same thing he tried to do to your sister is the same thing he has been doing to your maid and then to your neighbor. You tolerated, you accepted. Now it has gotten to your sister's turn, and then you are like he has beaten more than he can chew because he tried to force himself on your sister. You are not being fair, honestly. What about the maid you sent home? What is her fate? Is she going to school? If she remembers the event that took place in your house, how would she feel? You have to also find a way to appeal to this maid too. But then, as for your children and your husband's children, you have to take him to human rights. If you do not want to continue with the marriage, he has to keep taking care of his children too. This happened to your maid. Your family supported you. You sent the maid back to her people. It happened to your neighbor. You are still living with your husband. Now he wanted to do the same thing to your sister. all of a sudden you want to quit your marriage. Come on now, think about it. There is nothing new. That is something he has been doing. Okay, in that case, are you trying to say you know what he's doing is bad, but because it hasn't gotten to anyone close to you, or because it has not happened to your loved one, that is why you are forgiving him with your family? And now he's about to do the same thing to your loved one, and then you want to quickly take a decision or action. It is not fair. You have to also forgive him. Forgive him just the way you have been forgiving him the same act on your maid and then your neighbor. If he does something else, then maybe we can think of what to do. But this same thing, you have to also be fair. The same thing has hit back to you. You have to forgive him and tolerate it. That's what I have to say.